What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video by Sells Legacy Sports Cards. It has been a minute since I've uploaded a video. We've just been very busy at home with projects and travel and things like that, so I just really haven't had a chance to upload anything. But over the last couple weeks, I've also been brainstorming about what direction I really want this channel to go into. You know, I've really wanted to do some monthly themed videos if possible, and a lot of the things I'd like to talk about are just really geared towards the common collector. I consider myself to be a common collector. I don't really have, unlimited funds, so I'm always looking for, maybe under the radar cards to pick up or alternative rookies, or really just, trying to stay in the hobby and acquire new cards but also not break the bank. And so one of the themes that I'd like to start doing monthly is 5 cards that I think every collector can pick up that are under $100. Now, this theme is not, original to me. I have actually watched the 4 Collectors channel, and they do this every month as well with John 3D80's kid. And so I kind of, I watch their videos, and I think it's a really good concept. It's cards that are attainable for the common collector, and they generally have a theme every single month, iconic cards or just cards they enjoy or specific positions or something like that. So I thought I'm going to start doing that here every month. Give me a chance to show off some cards that I already have, and maybe if you're new to collecting, it gives you an idea of maybe some Hall of Fame greats or some iconic cards that you can get that are still, even with this market going crazy, still fairly affordable. So we're going to start that today, and like I said, I'm hopeful that maybe we can upload this every month and just go over about 5 new cards every month. So we're going to go in chronological order, starting at the oldest, and today the theme is going to be cards that are meaningful, maybe not because they are specifically iconic, but either the player in the card or something about the card itself signifies something important. So I'm going to start with this 1958 Topps All-Star Stan Musial. And as many people know, Stan Musial doesn't have a ton of cards in the 1950s. He didn't sign a contract with Topps until 1958, so this is actually his first Topps card that he appears in. He's in all the Bowman sets early in the 50s. He's in the oddball cards or oddball sets like the Red Heart, which is one of my favorite cards of his. But if you're looking for just, a meaningful card, and the fact that this is his first Topps card, I love these All-Star cards from the 1958 set as well. And you can really pick this up very affordably. I think I got this for about 20-25 bucks. It's a little off center, but you can get even higher graded copies for under $100 for sure. So great picture of Stan Musial, who's a fantastic ball player, and again, meaningful just because this is his first Topps card, even though, his rookie season was his rookie cards are in 1949. So, obviously pretty far into his career to have your first Topps card. So that's a really easy one to pick up, and one that definitely will not break the bank. So moving up then to 1962 Topps, I showed this in my Strongsville video, my pickups from that card show. It says 1962 Topps Roger Maris. So this is in a 4, SGC 4. I picked this up for about 70 bucks at Strongsville. It's a really, it's off-center top to bottom, but it's a really sharp card. This is meaningful because this is the first card that Maris has the year after he broke Babe Ruth's home run record. So again, I mentioned that in my Strongsville video. I love looking back here and seeing that 61 home runs. And, to a lot of people, this was the true home run record until Aaron Judge broke it a few years ago. A lot of people don't consider the home run guys or the steroid guys like McGwire and Sosa, all those guys who broke the record multiple times over, as being legitimate holders of the record. Obviously Barry Bonds as well. So yeah, I consider Maris to be the true home run king until Aaron Judge broke that. So again, you can pick this card up an even lower grade for 20-25 bucks. But if you want to get, a 3 or 4, it's only going to be about $60-70. So really good pickup in an iconic card after breaking an iconic record. Next, this one is probably the cheapest one in our 5 that we'll cover today. And it says 1970 Curt Flood. So you may be wondering, this is mid-career Curt Flood, 1970 Topps, not necessarily the greatest looking card in the world. Why is this significant? Well, if you look at the top here, it's got him playing for the Phillies. Well, if you know anything about Curt Flood, he was the guy that fought the reserve clause to try to get the right for players to go into free agency, to be able to decide where they go to instead of just being dictated to go here or there by the teams that they were controlled by. And so he was actually traded, or attempted to be traded, from the Cardinals to the Phillies, and Topps produced a card with him on the Phillies, but he never actually played a game for the Phillies. So even this picture, they have his hat tilted up, or they purposely chose this one with his hat tilted up because he's still in his Cardinals uniform. So that's pretty significant, and I think Curt Flood, because of the contributions he made to the game, and obviously was the kind of the pioneer of modern free agency, I think eventually he'll get to the Hall of Fame. So kind of an important card, and you can get it dirt cheap. Obviously, I got this at a local flea market we have here for $1.50, so it's really not that expensive of a card, but a meaningful card of a guy who most likely will be a Hall of Famer, and it comes with a pretty cool story. So that's card number 3. Now, card number 4 is probably the most expensive card on this list, but still you can get it, around a 5.5, 6, maybe even a 6.5, depending on, if it's an auction or something like that, for under $100. And that's his 1980 Topps Rickey Henderson rookie. And I know his cards have gone up quite a bit recently, so maybe this won't be under $100 now, but it should be right around that time. Obviously, Rickey Henderson, iconic player, probably the greatest leadoff hitter in the history of baseball. This card is significant because obviously for most collectors, 1980 is when the vintage era truly ended, because the next year in 1981, Donruss and Fleer started producing cards, and players started having multiple rookie cards from multiple makers of cards every single year. So this is the last year that if you're a Hall of Famer, and Rickey Henderson is the only Hall of Famer from the 1980s set, he only has one true rookie card rather than multiple cards as we see in 1981 and the years following. So very iconic set, very iconic year. Again, it kind of is that watershed time before, where we're going from vintage into the modern, or maybe the pre-modern era. So and obviously it's a great looking card as well. I love the banners and just the uniform and his iconic batting stance and things like that. So fantastic card. And again, you probably could find this for around $100 in like a 5.5 or 6.5. I got this for about $100 about a year ago. So it's still possible, but I would highly suggest every collection should have that Rickey Henderson rookie. And lastly, this is a card I think every collection should have, and that is the 1989 Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr. So not only is this just a generally iconic card, probably the most famous card of the 1980s, 90s, and even, some people consider one of the top 5 most iconic baseball cards ever made. But this truly signified, the production of this set specifically, 1989 Upper Deck, truly signified when cards and manufacturers were starting to make very high quality product. This is much nicer picture quality, the cardstock's much nicer. This was like the first premium card that was ever made, or at least product that was ever made, and they made the number 1 card of the set, Ken Griffey Jr., who also ended up being the most iconic player of the 1990s as well. But even now, raw, you can get these cards for $60-$70. You can get graded copies for around $100 as well. So go out and grab one of these. Again, they're not hard to find. They're everywhere. It's not a rare card by any stretch of the imagination. I think it's actually one of the most graded cards in all of PSA. But just go ahead and get that because of just how iconic of a player Ken Griffey Jr. is, how iconic of a card this is, and again, what it signifies as far as the kind of the changing the guard from, card companies just using lower quality card stock and kind of going into the more high quality production and things like that, much better quality control and things like that. So at least for this week, or this month, that's going to be it. Those are the 5 cards that I would suggest every collector should at least think about getting, and you can get all of those on a budget. They're all under $100, and a couple of them are well under $100. So, again, the whole purpose of these videos is I'm trying to show that there are really good cards, meaningful cards that collectors can still get to this day, that they're not going to break the bank, and you can build yourself a pretty nice collection. So, let me know in the comments if you like this series. We'll continue doing it next month. I haven't quite picked the topic yet, but I appreciate you guys watching, and hopefully we'll see you again. All right, take care. Bye.